someone who has given up on life, and this is their way. This is the charade that they put on. This is the kind of facade that they put in front, yeah, that they are the ones that needs to be rescued, and who else is better than their own child, rescuing them out of their misery. Yeah, all of it is a trap. They are not suffering, they are not in misery. It's just that they manipulate you, they brainwash you to do their bidding, and that's it. And that's how they train you to ignore and neglect your own needs, your own self, and keep prioritizing them. Yeah, not to look into your needs, wants, requirement, desire, yeah, and be 100% dedicated, in service of them. Yeah, 100% dedicated to do things for them so that they can be happy. Yeah, but are they ever happy? The answer is no. Deep inside, they are happy. They are absolutely okay. But they like pretending. They like acting. They like projecting themselves as the victim. Yeah. So no matter how much you do for them, no matter what lengths you go to help them and alleviate them out of their misery and pain, it's not going to do the work, because they are not in pain, they are not in misery, they are just acting. Yeah, they are just putting up a show to trap you, to keep you. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the reasons why it is so hard, why it is so difficult to break free from a covert narcissistic parent. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So covert narcissistic parents are such kind of parasite that you cannot get rid of easily. Yeah, they are very difficult to get over with. Yeah, even if you go no contact, they will be staying in your mind rent free. Yeah, and this is because they are pro level manipulators. They are expert in gaslighting, and all of the bad stuff begins to happen since childhood. Yeah, so they start manipulating you, they start brainwashing you, they start conditioning you in a certain way. They start withholding love and affection, they start using silent treatment, they rewrite history, they start training you from an early age, and as a result of which by the age 15 or 16 or by 20, all of it gets solidified. You become a person that is heavily influenced by them. Yeah, your personality gets solidified. I mean, tiny bit of changes are there, I mean, post 20, but till 20 they brainwash you, they manipulate you, they program you in such a way that you are almost a kind of a version that will never upgrade, a kind of a version that will not change much in future. Yeah, and this is because they breed for return. They don't want you to become independent, they don't want you to grow up to be healthy individual. So they do an aggressive mind control. They engage in aggressive I would say manipulative upbringing, yeah, since childhood, and that's how they program you, they emotionally handicap you, and they have you on hook. If they treat you in a healthy manner, you might outgrow, you might become independent, you might not become the version that serves them, and that is something which is unacceptable for them. Yeah. So covert narcissistic parents also have a very interesting card up their sleeve, and that is the victim card. Someone who has suffered so much, someone who has seen so many bad things and events, and they have given up on life, they have been betrayed and wronged by the entire world, your father, your granny, your this, your that. So they survived all of that just for the sake of you. Yeah, so in majority of the narcissistic relationships, if you are raised by covert narcissistic parent, they stayed in the toxic relationship just for the sake of you. They slept hungry just for the sake of you. So it's very melodramatic. Yeah, it's almost like a, I would say, movies of the 80s. I mean, lots of emotions, ups and downs. They suffered a lot. They covered this distance on foot. They were hungry. They were mistreated by the others, but they went ahead with the relationship just for the sake of you. And they will keep on narrating this rewritten history in front of you again and again and again. And that's how they make you feel responsible, yeah, for their emotions, their feelings, their ups and downs. They have a lot of tricks. I always advise my clients not to expose covert narcissistic parents, never to confront their covert narcissistic parents. And this is because they already exist in an ecosystem. They have their loyal flying monkeys, enablers, and they will project you as the villain and themselves as the victim. Yeah, even though you are being antagonized, you are being brutalized, you are being abused, you are being exploited, but they are expert manipulators. Yeah, and they don't exist alone. They build an ecosystem around them. Yeah, so if you think that you are going to confront them or expose them, it's going to backfire. It's going to further screw you up. Yeah, it's not going to hamper or tarnish their image. Yeah, because they have a lot of mindless flying monkeys and enablers. Plus if they have a golden child, if you are the scapegoat, if you are the invisible child, if you are the truth teller, they are going to do a number on you, and then they are going to project you as the ungrateful child, the villain, the bad child. Yeah, the bad influence in the family. And everyone is going to support them. Yeah, because they have a very believable and compelling story to tell others. Yeah, I did this, I did that, just for the sake of my son, just for the sake of my daughter. And people tend to believe them. I mean, in general, our society enables narcissistic parents. So don't expect that society is going to stand up with you, others are going to stand up with you, support you, and help you get justice. No, instead they are going to mess you up more. They are going to gaslight you. Others are going to gaslight you and tell you, well, you have got only one mom. After all, she's your mom. After all, he's your dad. And that's it. No one is really going to help you heal, recover. No one is going to, help you confront them. No one is going to help you, get justice. So the idea of confronting them, the idea of exposing, especially the covert narcissistic parent, is a bad idea. Yeah. Now, coming to, the reasons why it is so difficult to break free from, your covert narcissistic parent. There are a lot of factors and a lot of reasons. And, you need to understand you are in a kind of a relationship where even if you stay, you will not be good enough. And if you leave, then also you will be the one who's not good enough. Yeah, that's how the theme and the storyline is of your relationship with your covert narcissistic parent. Yeah, you will never be good enough for them, and that's how they get you to do more and more for them. Yeah, so if you are in the relationship with them, you're not good enough. If you leave them, then you are the worst child, ungrateful child, selfish, mean, bad child. Yeah, so you're going to get all those labels. So it's a kind of a tricky thing. Yeah, I mean, when you are in relationship with your covert narcissistic parent, I mean, when you are with them, yeah, you cannot leave them, you cannot be happy with them. Yeah, and even if you somewhat gather courage and if you go no contact, still they are going to hoover, haunt you. They are going to live rent free in your mind. And you will have to battle a lot of guilt and shame. They are going to summon their flying monkeys to further antagonize you, torment you, gaslight you. So it's not easy to get over with them. Yeah, And all of it is, rooted in the childhood. Since childhood, they project a certain image. Yeah, they condition you in a certain way with their passive aggressive behavior, with their withholding love and affection, silent treatment, and all of it really confuses you. You really don't know whether at all my mother is bad or not. Yeah, because sometimes she behaves well, and that's a kind of a smart disguise. Yeah, they don't want to be seen as a bitch. They don't want to be seen as a selfish, greedy, bad person. Yeah, so they confuse you. So sometimes they come out as a very kind, loving parent, and most of the time they are not satisfied with you. They are in some kind of pain, and you need to alleviate their pain. You need to be their rescuer. Yeah, so it's really miserable. Yeah, if you are raised by narcissistic parent, I mean, if you are raised by covert narcissistic parent, yeah, there is a lot of demons that you need to fight. I mean, it's not a one-on-one battle. It's literally like a war. Yeah, you have to fight on all fronts. Yeah, emotion, psychological, social, in the family. You have to keep on explaining yourself. You have to keep on upholding your boundaries. You have to work on your own self-esteem issues. You have to reparent yourself. So it's really chaotic, it's really painful, and it's very antagonizing and traumatizing, yeah, when you are raised by covert narcissistic parents. So it's a very rough ride. Yeah, it's not easy. Even if you go no contact, it takes a real long time to heal and recover from their manipulation, their abuse, their mind games. It's really painful. But yes, I mean, once you overcome all of that, uh, you will be enjoying your life. You will be uh, living your life on your own terms. You will be falling in love with yourself. You will be hosting healthy relationships and connections. Yeah, you will be fostering healthy connections. So things change. Yeah, but the transition period is really painful. Yeah, I mean, it's painful to be with them, and once you leave them, or if they die, or if you go no contact, you know it's painful as well. Yeah, because you have a lot of guilt and shame, and you are constantly second guessing whether I should have given her another chance, I should have given him another chance. And I was very cruel, I was very heartless. And you really don't get much support from the outside world. You really don't get support from society. Because everyone keeps gaslighting you. They really don't want to understand or see your side of story. Yeah, they will tell you, so what if she hit you, so what if she did a number on you. In the end, she's your mother, she's old, she took care of you, she gave birth to you, blah blah, all of those things. Yeah, but to tell you honestly, we as survivors, we as children of narcissistic parents, we don't owe them anything. They owe us. We don't owe them anything. Yeah, they brought us in this world. Yeah, and they mistreated us, they abused us, they wreak havoc in our head. Yeah, and in our lives. So we are not at fault. The problem is not with us, the problem is with them. Yeah, they need to work on themselves, they need to do something about themselves. Yeah, we are not here to fix them. Yeah, because we have to gather all that courage and strength to fix our own selves. Yeah, so don't get into that trap of rescuing and fixing your covert narcissistic parents. They are pathological, or you can say chronic victims. They will forever suffer. They are martyr, they are hero, they are victim. They will keep on suffering, and that's their way of keeping you on hook. Yeah, you can never make them happy. You will only be a rescuer for them. You will only be a tool to get things. Yeah, you are not a child to them. They brought you in this world so that they can have a loyal, dedicated, devoted servant. Yeah, that's how things are. So the sooner you have this radical acceptance, the better for you. Yeah, so that you are not delusional, you are not daydreaming and thinking that one fine day my mother will tell me, oh my god, you have done a lot for me, daughter, you have done a lot for me, son, and I'm really thankful to you. No, that day is never going to come. Yeah, she's going to forever suffer. She's going to forever project herself as needy, as someone who has given up on life, and this is their way. This is the charade that they put on. This is the kind of facade that they put in front. Yeah, that they are the ones that needs to be rescued, and who else is better than their own child rescuing them out of their misery. Yeah, all of it is a trap. They are not suffering, they are not in misery. It's just that they manipulate you, they brainwash you to do their bidding, and that's it. And that's how they train you to ignore and neglect your own needs, your own self, and keep prioritizing them. Yeah, not to look into your needs, wants, requirement, desire. Yeah, and be 100% dedicated in service of them. Yeah, 100% dedicated to do things for them so that they can be happy. Yeah, but are they ever happy? The answer is no. Deep inside they are happy, they are absolutely okay, but they like pretending, they like acting, they like projecting themselves as the victim. Yeah, so no matter how much you do for them, no matter what lengths you go to help them and alleviate them out of their misery and pain, it's not going to do the work, because they are not in pain, they are not in misery, they are just acting. Yeah, they are just putting up a show to trap you, to keep you on hook. So now, coming to the reasons why it is impossible or extremely difficult to break free from a covert narcissistic parent. The first reason is invisible chains. So covert narcissistic parents maintain control through subtle guilt and emotional blackmail, making you feel responsible for their well-being and trapping you in the relationship. Yeah, so they are going to emotionally blackmail you, they are going to instill guilt. Yeah, they're going to tell you, well, I did so much, and look at this age, I'm all alone, nobody really loves me, nobody cares about me, I don't know what plans God has for me, I feel so sad. Look at their children are so fond of their mother, they do so much for their mother, they do so much for their father. So they will make you feel as if it's your responsibility to take care of them, whereas in a healthy setup, it's the parents' responsibility to take care of their child. And if the child is grown up, adult, and doing well, and if the relationship is good, then the child can also do things for his or her parent. That's absolutely normal and natural. I mean, but when you are dealing with a covert narcissistic parent, they will do the bare minimum, and they will make you feel as if they have gone out of their way and they have suffered a lot just to get things on the table, just to get you the best possible things, whereas we know those best possible things are just the bare minimum. But the way how they present and project, you automatically feel indebted, you automatically feel responsible. Yeah, and you just prioritize them. Let me study well, let me get a good job, and then I'm going to get my mom this, I'm going to get my dad this. Yeah, the kid's focus is not on himself or herself, that I need to buy a house, I need to get a car, I need to do some saving. The kid is just focused, the kid is programmed in such a way that the kid grows up into becoming an adult who is just a servant. Yeah, who's mindlessly serving their covert narcissistic parent. Yeah, the focus is not on your own life, on your own self, the focus is on pleasing and serving the covert narcissistic parent. And covert narcissistic parents are big time into emotional blackmail. Yeah, they are going to tell you, well, after all the things that I have done for you, this is what I'm getting in return. If you really love me, you would have asked me. If you really loved me, you would have counseled me. If you would have loved me, you would have not done things your way. If you would have loved me, you wouldn't have had, spend your money on your wife and on your kids. If you would have loved me, you wouldn't have had, bought things for yourself. You would have asked me if I needed something or not. Yeah, but you didn't ask me. So, they will emotionally blackmail you. Yeah, they will use their role and position to further guilt trip you. Yeah, they will make you feel as if they have done a great service by bringing you in this world and by raising you and by doing the bare minimum. Yeah, and that's how, you are attached. That's how you are codependent. That's how you are, trapped. Yeah, and that's how, you are stuck with them. Yeah, all this guilt and shame. I cannot leave her. She's going to suffer without me. She's going to, really experience a lot of pain and misery if I don't do things for her. Yeah, and as a result of which, we are just focused on serving them and not our own selves. Yeah, and in that entire process, we lose a lot of things. We lose good connections, we lose money, we lose good opportunities, we lose our job. We, become a loser. Yeah, and why does that happen? It's because, we are trained to just prioritize them and serve them in hopes for some crumbs, some validation. Oh, son, you're so good. Oh, daughter, you're so good. But do we really get that? Do we, get all that, validation and appreciation, in a steady manner? No, it's rare. Yeah, it's only thrown at us sometimes just to confuse us and keep us on hook. Yeah, so invisible chains, all that emotional blackmail, guilt and shame, all of it actually, binds us to our covert narcissistic parent, and it becomes very difficult, to get rid of them. It becomes very difficult to, break free from that relationship. Yeah, because, one thing is that we really don't want to lose our parents, and, that's a normal thing, but a healthy individual will, use boundaries. A healthy individual, will take charge of his life. Yeah, I shouldn't hold my parents responsible for my happiness, and it should be the other way around as well. They shouldn't hold me responsible for their happiness and well-being. Yeah, my happiness, my well-being is my business. Your happiness, your well-being is your business. Yeah, so, these invisible chains literally, uh, keep you on hook, literally, keep you stuck with your covert narcissistic parents. The other reason why it is impossible or difficult to break free from a covert narcissistic parent is because of this victimhood trap. They consistently, play the role of the martyr, making you feel like the villain for, wanting to distance yourself from them. Yeah, and this reinforces the belief that leaving, would make you a heartless person. Leaving would, get you all those, labels. Yeah, bad child, heartless child. Yeah, selfish child, mean child. Look, she left the father. Look, he left the mother. Yeah, and, their entire ecosystem is there to give you certificate and labels. So, you are, scared of those labels. Yeah, and, they make you feel bad, for even wanting to have some space and distance. Yeah, between each other. Yeah, that's how they, manipulate you. That's how they control you and trap you in the relationship. Yeah, so, wanting space and, upholding boundary, you automatically feel bad and you feel sad. Yeah, if your spouse is telling you that, why don't you uphold boundaries, why don't you, maintain some distance, and why don't you, create some space between you and your covert narcissistic parent, but the guilt inside of you, all those sad stories, sob stories that you, grew up hearing, since childhood, all of it makes you feel guilty. Yeah, for demanding space, for demanding privacy, for, wanting to distance yourself from them. You feel that it's your duty to do things for them. You feel like a criminal, like a villain. Yeah, if this thought and idea comes in your mind, or if your spouse or if your boyfriend or girlfriend tells you to maintain some space and uphold boundaries, it's almost like an abomination. It's almost like a kind of a sinful thing that you are about to do. Yeah, if you ask privacy, if you uphold boundaries, it's because they installed all of those triggers and buttons inside of you. Yeah, so wanting to distance yourself away from them is also a big task. Yeah, and most of the children feel guilty. No, 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 let me call her, let me tell her everything about me, let me go and live with her, let me bring her, and let me make her stay with me, let me take care of her. Yeah, I get it. I mean, taking care of children and parent, it's a work where a lot of equal reciprocity is needed. Yeah, in order for the relationship to function in a healthy way. If it's just one way, monological, I'm telling you, you are just wasting your time, energy, and money and emotions. Yeah, so it's a two-way thing. It's not that parents will do bare minimum for you and then you have to give them a royal treatment. That's not right. That's simply that you are not respecting your money, you are not respecting your own self, your hard work, your achievement. You're just giving it away. Yeah, you need to respect yourself. You need to rebuild your self-worth, self-esteem. Yeah, I mean, if they mistreated you, okay, you don't go ahead and mistreat them, but you have all the rights to experience good. Yeah, and that good doesn't necessarily include your abusive, antagonistic, and toxic parents. Yeah, that good includes your family, your wife, your children. Yeah, so don't give away in hopes of pleasing them or getting some kind of cookie or crumb. You're not going to get that. Yeah, so yes, this victimhood trap is also one of the reasons why it is very difficult to get rid of your covert narcissistic parents, or break free from a covert narcissistic parent. Yeah, because they are forever victim, martyr, hero, and if you try and expose them, you are the villain. If you confront them and call out their bad behavior, you are the bad one. You are the ungrateful child. If you try and distance yourself, if you don't give them your control, you are being selfish, you are being mean, you are not appreciating, or you are not honoring their sacrifice. Yeah, which they did in the process of raising you and bringing you in this world. All those BS stories. The other reason why it is very difficult to break free from a covert narcissistic parent is because of emotional enmeshment. Yeah, they blur the lines between their needs and yours. Yeah, creating a toxic dependency where breaking away feels like losing a part of yourself. Yeah, so they are going to blur the lines. If you are talking about your needs, they are going to come up with their sad story. Yeah, and then they are going to position their needs as the only priority that needs to be taken care of, prioritized in the family. You learn that your needs are not important, and as a result of which you keep your mouth shut. You stop talking about your needs, and every time you try and express about your needs, your wants, your requirement, they bring their needs, wants, and requirement. Yeah, and then they make you feel obligated. Well, I did so much for you, I never demanded this, I sacrificed this and this, and look, you are worried about your this thing, you are worried about this dress, you are worried about this toy, you are worried about this and that, and you are not worried about the things that I need, that is priority for me. I left my entire work, I left my job in the process of raising you. I sacrificed my studies, I sacrificed my friends, and this and that, and now you're worried about your friends, you're worried about this, you're worried about that. So they literally blur the lines. Yeah, where you are trained to prioritize their needs, you are trained to prioritize them and not your own self. And this creates a toxic dependency. Yeah, where you know uh, breaking away from them feels like losing a part of yourself. As it is, there is no boundaries, they don't entertain boundaries, they don't teach you, how to use boundaries. Every time, by default, if you try to uphold boundaries, or if you demanded some privacy and space, they did run over all of that. Yeah, they, shamed you. They brainwashed you into believing that boundaries, space and privacy is being selfish and mean. And as a result of which, you are all over them, they are all over you. Yeah. And you are unable to develop your own identity and your own authentic self. You are so enmeshed that you feel and you genuinely believe that, you are them, and not a separate entity, a separate individual. Yeah, because they stunt your growth. They don't let you grow and evolve in a healthy manner. And as a result of which, you're just codependent, you're emotionally enmeshed in a very unhealthy way. Yeah. And as a result of which, it's difficult, it's next to impossible, yeah, to break free from covert narcissistic parents. The other reason why it is so difficult to break free from covert narcissistic parent is manipulative charm. So covert narcissistic parents often mask their manipulation with kindness and fox empathy, yeah, making you second guess your desire to leave by questioning if they are truly harmful. Yeah, so they are like shapeshifters. Yeah, they are going to abuse you by playing victim. They are going to abuse you by playing hero. They are going to abuse you by playing martyr. Yeah, and that really confuses you. You are second guessing and questioning your own sanity, your own perception, your own reality, your own feelings, emotions, understanding. Yeah. And that's how they keep you on hook. So covert narcissistic parents, we know, they have this victim image to maintain. And when they abuse you and play victim, at the same time, that creates a lot of you can say confusion. That creates a lot of this cognitive dissonance. You are really not sure. My mother is suffering. How can she be my abuser? My mother has been suffering so much, and I really don't think she is the one who's abusing me. I think my dad is the abuser. I think my auntie is the abuser. So, it becomes very difficult if your abuser is constantly playing victim, martyr, or hero. Yeah, you cannot hold them accountable. Yeah, because you're so confused. Yeah, sometimes they are behaving all right. Sometimes they are treating you right. Sometimes they are giving you tiny bit of love and affection, and you are just confused. You are unable to see things clearly, and that's how they have you on hook. Yeah. And that's how it becomes very difficult for you to distance yourself from covert narcissistic parent, or to break free from covert narcissistic parents. The other reason why it is so hard to break free from covert narcissistic parent is because of deep-rooted obligation. So they instill a lifelong sense of duty and loyalty, convincing you that abandoning them would mean betraying your family, no matter the personal cost. Yeah. So they are going to instill a lot of these, bullshit ideas inside of you. Family is everything. You have to respect your parents. Parents are second gods. You have to do things for your parent. Even though your parent did the bare minimum, you have to make them feel amazing. You have to worship them. And if you leave your parent, that means you are the bad one, and you will burn in hell. You will forever suffer. You will never be able to experience good if you don't prioritize your family. All those BS stories and gaslighting phrases that we get to hear. Yeah? So they instill this deep rooted obligation inside of you. Yeah, that family is everything. In the end, you have your family. Even though if your family is abusing you, but you still have a family. Even though your mother is mistreating you, your father is antagonizing you, exploiting you, or abusing you, but still you have parents. Yeah. So a lot of these wrong ideas, these wrong notions are fed, yeah, since childhood inside our head, yeah, by our covert narcissistic parents. And we tend to feel obligated. We always have this thing inside of us that we need to prove our loyalty. Yeah, and how do we do that? By never leaving them, by never, betraying them, by never abandoning them, even though they betrayed us, even though they abandoned us. But this is family, and I cannot leave them, even though they can disrespect, even though they can disrespect me, they can abuse me, they can exploit me. But as a child, it's my duty do things for them. Yeah, so that's how they instill all those one-sided stuff inside of you. And we firmly adhere to it, we firmly believe it, and we keep doing it. Yeah, we have to prove ourselves, to our covert narcissistic parents. We have to prove our loyalty. And how do we do that? By never abandoning them. Yeah, by forever serving them, by forever giving them a free pass. Yeah, even if they abuse us, mistreat us, but still we keep giving them second chances. And that's how we feel that we can show our loyalty towards them. Yeah, even though our mental health is gone for a toss, even though our health is fucked up, hardly matters. The most important thing is proving my loyalty. And how do I do that? By holding on to the relationship, the toxic dysfunctional relationship. Yeah, by constantly trying to please my covert narcissistic parent, by constantly serving them, by always giving them second chances, and by just doing things for them. And the last reason why it is so hard to break free from a covert narcissistic parent is because of distorted identity. Years of subtle manipulation erodes your sense of self, yeah, leaving you unsure of who you are actually, yeah. And who are you without their influence? Who are you without them? It is so enmeshed. Yeah, everything is so interlinked, everything is so confusing. You cannot process the idea of you being you being your authentic self. You can exist without them. Yeah, and as a result of which you are stuck with them. Yeah? And it is very difficult to envision a life without them, beyond their control. Yeah, so because they don't let you develop a healthy sense of self-worth, self-esteem. They don't nourish or nurture your authentic side. And as a result of which you become a shapeshifter. You become a shapeshifter who's ready to shapeshift and become the version that the covert narcissistic parent wants you to be. Yeah, you really don't develop your own unique identity. Yeah, because every time you tried being yourself, you were shamed, minimized, guilt trip, all that bad stuff. Yeah, and as a result of which now you genuinely don't know who you truly are. Yeah, you cannot fathom a life without them. You really don't know what you will be without them. Yeah, so it's so badly enmeshed that you are royally effed up psychologically, emotionally. Yeah, and as a result of which you choose to stay in that toxic relationship rather than leaving and embarking on your healing journey. Yeah, because there is a lot of emotions that is involved, plus the kind of brainwashing that these covert narcissistic parents put you through. I mean, it's very difficult. Yeah, you carry a lot of burden on your shoulders. Yeah, when you are raised by covert narcissistic parents. Yeah, if you are with them, you suffer. If you leave them, or if they are long gone, you keep suffering. Yeah, and that's the reason I tell all of the survivors and the adult children of covert narcissistic parents to have radical acceptance. Yeah, to understand that you are a separate, different individual. You can have your own set of likes and dislikes and preference. Yeah, you are not the version they are telling you to be. Yeah, you are not the version that they have told you that you are. Yeah, you are not that version. You can be some other version as well, and that's absolutely okay. Yeah, it's absolutely okay to disagree. It's absolutely okay to not like the things which they like. Yeah, And it's absolutely okay if you want to be silent, if you distance yourself. In the end, it's absolutely okay if you want to be silent about something, or if you disagree to something, or if you choose to distance yourself. That's absolutely okay. You need to understand that you can exist without them. You need to understand, and you need to have radical acceptance that they are abusive individuals who have extreme sense of entitlement, extreme hunger and craving for attention and admiration, and they lack empathy, so they really don't care what's going inside of you. Yeah, so you have to do your own reparenting. Yeah, don't expect them to parent you in a healthy way. They did the bare minimum, and that's it. You are a money making machine, a labor, and an emotional toilet for them. Yeah, you are nothing more than all of these things. Yeah, so expecting healthy stuff from them is stupidity. Accept them for who they are. Have this radical acceptance that they are your abuser and they are not going to change in this life. Yeah, the only thing that you can do is work on your own self. Yeah, emotionally distance yourself. Yeah, start taking help of boundaries or gray rock. Yeah, work on your own self, prioritize your own self, unlearn all that BS that you were fed in the childhood. Yeah, so it's a rough ride. It's not easy. I had a covert narcissistic mother, and you know um, even after her death, I used to feel guilty. I used to, punish myself. I used to think that, I shouldn't have had, spoken to her in that manner or this manner. I used to punish myself and I used to feel guilty. But with time, I realized that, my reactions were, the result of, her triggering me. My actions were the result of her triggering and provoking me. Yeah, so I shouldn't feel guilty, uh, for the way how I reacted. Yeah, because she was the one who was provoking. She was the one who was mistreating. She was the one, who was, triggering all of those things. Yeah, so I shouldn't hold myself accountable for my reactions. Yeah, because they are not taking accountability of their actions. Yeah, they are just blaming me, they are shaming me, guilt tripping me, punishing me, and mistreating me and abusing me. Yeah, so at least I should not be difficult on my own self. At least I should stand up for my own self. Yeah, because in a narcissistic household, they are not going to stand up for you. They are not going to stand with you. Yeah, so you need to unlearn a lot of things, and you need to reparent yourself and prioritize your own self. Going no contact is a different thing altogether. If you can, you should. That is going to propel your healing. That is going to help you heal faster. But if you can't, you need to use boundaries. You need to tell them that I'm not responsible, for your feelings and your emotions. You need to tell them that I can only do this much. Rest, you need to figure out, for yourself. So yes, these were the reasons why it is so hard to break free from a covert narcissistic parents. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.